you all are doing well at your home. आप लोग सब अपने अपने घरों पे बहुत अच्छे होंगे, अपना ध्यान रख रहे होंगे क्लास। क्लास हमने कुछ क्लासेस पहले आपको करवाया था मैंने अंडरलाइन द वर्ब। आज मैं आपको दोबारा से वो अंडरलाइन द वर्ब रिवाइज कराती हूँ। तो लेट अस स्टार्ट क्लास।
Verbs are action words that tell you what the naming words do. The form of the verb.
क्लास वर्ब क्या है? एक एक्शन वर्ड्स है जो आपको सेंटेंस में किसी भी एक्शन मतलब कोई भी चीज होने का, एक्शन होने का बताता है। उसको हम क्या बोलते हैं? वर्ब बोलते हैं। द वर्ड द नेमिंग वर्ड, जो नेमिंग वर्ड्स है उसके बारे में कि वो क्या एक्शन कर रहा है, वो क्या बताता है, हमें शो करता है, वर्ब शो करता है।
Also tells you what time or when the action happens. You know that simple present verbs in a sentence tell you that the action happens now. For example, in the sentence, Anna goes to school, the verb goes tells you that the action happens now or in the present.
आपको ये बोला गया हो अंडरलाइन द वर्ब इन दिस सेंटेंस। तो व्हाट इज द वर्ब? गोज इज योर वर्ब। तो आपको वर्ब पहचानने के लिए वर्ब की फॉर्म्स भी लर्न करनी पड़ेगी और आईएनजी की फॉर्म्स भी आपको याद रखनी पड़ेगी क्लास।
You also know that simple past verbs tell you about actions that happened in the past. For example, the sentence Anna went to school tells you that Anna went to school sometime in the past and that the action has already happened.
तो क्लास अगर आपको इसमें वर्ब बोला जाए तो आप कहोगे मैम एना तो नहीं है, एना तो नाउन है। ये भी नहीं है, ये भी नाउन है। अगर आपको नहीं पता वर्ब की फॉर्म्स, ये तो प्रेपोजिशन है मैम और ये भी नाउन है। अब आप इसमें वर्ब कहाँ से हो जाएगा? तो अगर आपको जब तक वर्ब की फर्स्ट सेकंड थर्ड फॉर्म नहीं लर्न होगी, आप अपने वर्ब को अंडरलाइन नहीं कर सकते। सो बिफोर द अंडरलाइन द वर्ब यू हैव टू लर्न द वर्ब फॉर्म्स कि कितनी वर्ब की फॉर्म्स होती है और उनकी क्या क्या। अब जैसे गो, वेंट, गॉन, अब ये गो की सेकंड फॉर्म है तो ये क्या है? आपका वर्ब है। क्या है ये? आपका वर्ब है क्लास।
You also know that the present continuous verb form tells you about actions that are happening now or when the speaker is describing them. For example, imagine you're at the park and your friend asks you what you're doing. You might say, I am sitting on a swing. The verb am sitting shows that the action is happening now. Did you know that like in the present tense, continuous verb forms are used in the past tense too? Let's look at the swing example again. After you play at the park and get back home, your mother might ask about what you did there. And you would say, I was sitting on the swing. This time you use the verb form was sitting, where the word was says that the action happened in the past. This is the past continuous form of the verb. Let's find out more. Verbs in the past continuous are used to describe what somebody was doing or what was going on for some time, but the action already happened in the past. In the sentence, I was sitting on the swing, the verb form was sitting tells you that the action of sitting happened in the past but went on for some time. to change verbs to their continuous or ing form for the past continuous, just like you did for the present continuous. Let's understand how to change verbs to their continuous form again. With regular verbs, you just add an ing to the end of the verb to change it to its continuous form. For example, in the sentence, Jimmy was walking in the park, the continuous verb walking is formed by adding an ing to the verb walk. Look at the table for more examples of verbs that change into their continuous form by taking an ing at the end. To change some verbs that end with E to their continuous forms, you need to drop the final E before adding ing to the end of the verbs. For example, Arya was making orange juice. In this sentence, the verb make drops E and takes ing to become its continuous form, making. The table gives you some more examples of the continuous forms of verbs that end with an E. When you add ing to the end of some verbs, you have to double the last letter of those verbs to change them to their continuous form. Read the sentence, they were shopping for books. In this sentence, you have to add another P to the verb shop and then add ing to the end to make the continuous form shopping. The table has more examples of such verbs where you need to double the last alphabet and then add the ing to make the continuous verb forms. Now let's understand the helping verbs that are used for the past continuous form. Was and were are the helping words you use in the past continuous verb forms. The helping verb was is the past form of is and am and is used with singular nouns and with pronouns like I, he, she and it. For example, you use the helping verb was in the sentence, Tommy was climbing the tree. The helping verb were is the past form of are and is used with plural nouns and pronouns like you, they and we. For example, you use the helping verb were in the sentence, Sheena and Dinah